everybody? It's your boy CG back at you guys again with some more cryptocurrency news. Today we're going to be talking about a couple articles that actually raise an eyebrow that I think that all of you would probably want to check out as well. So let's get straight into it. Just so you guys know, I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't actually read these articles before I make the video or upload about them because I want to read them with you guys, so that it's just kind of like how can I put this? It's an experience for all of us. So that's just something to take away from this that I probably haven't told you guys before. But yeah, let's get into it. OKEX CEO Jay Howe hopes projects like Libra will help transform the global monetary system. So just from the title, I can kind of assume what he's going to talk about as far as just taking the power away from the government, because the government has the power to essentially print the money. Even though the Federal Reserve is its own entity, it is in its own way tied to the government. So essentially the government controls the money supply and controls what happens with the money, how much money is printed, and all these different things. And as you guys know, that's kind of like building a paper mache apartment building. It's due to fall apart if the mess gets too big or the building gets too heavy. It's going to collapse in on itself. But there are many problems associated with the current global monetary system. Not only is it unbalanced on a good day, it appears that central banks tend to make the situation even worse when a crisis occurs, and we all know this. The global corona epidemic has confirmed that the current system in place will not offer any real improvements in the near future, and we all know this, which is why a lot of people have actually started to lean more towards finance version 2, aka the cryptocurrency industry. In the United States, a worrisome decision was made by the Federal Reserve, contrary to many people's expectations. The bank reintroduced quantitative easing, or QE. Not only that, but like I was actually talked about this in the last video. Yeah, they were talking about not just doing quantitative easing, but unlimited quantity. That's ridiculous. I don't think a lot of people really caught that because they're not really savvy with these terms or really understand what type of effect that has on them. But that was kind of shocking that they would just come out and say that we're gonna do unlimited quantitative easing. Man, RIP to the dollar. Market panic continues to wreak havoc on a global scale. Stock prices remain incredibly volatile, whereas alternative assets seem to be appreciating in value. And yeah, if you guys notice, BTC is on a rise, but I don't even want to say that that's because of, well, like I said in my last video as well, there are people who are seeing the value in purchasing assets that have plunged a significant amount in hopes that they'll be the persons that profit from it when everything turns around. But as far as Bitcoin's upward trajectory right now, there were a lot of people claiming that this may just be gap fills from futures. But to be honest with you, news comes out every day about why the price moves in the cryptocurrency market, and everybody has their own theory about it. And to be honest with you, it's a lot of this stuff is unfounded, and some people may have sort of an argument, but there's not really any base to the things that they say, just because, like we said, this is a completely fundamentals based market right now. Like the cryptocurrency market is really just based on fundamentals. You can't gauge it the same way you would gauge the stock market. But yeah, continuing. OKEX CEO Jay Howe, I've always called it OKEX, has an interesting vision on how the global monetary system can be saved. First order of business is to remove the reliance on one traditional and bank-controlled sovereign currency. Correct, which is why a lot of people have been going towards Bitcoin or floated towards it, because it is money for the people, essentially. And a lot of people are saying it really has no value as money, because how can I put this, it's scalability issues, which is what I also talked about last time. But well, time will tell. I don't really think Bitcoin is going to be the final cryptocurrency iteration. I feel like we have yet to see the true nature of the beast, if you will, when it comes to how cryptocurrency is going to change the world. But the first order of business, I did that already. It is not the first time such a concept is proposed, as similar ideas floated around in the 1940s. John Maynard Keynes proposed a super sovereign currency called Bancor, not to be confused with the cryptocurrency and blockchain project. While it was never implemented, the concept outlined over 7 decades ago is still valid today. One potential candidate for the super sovereign super currency or currency is Bitcoin. It is the only global form of money in existence today, and one that doesn't require middlemen. At the same time, the notorious price volatility of BTC is not working in its favor. Yeah, and also the scaling solutions. But another solution comes in the form of stable coins. Facebook's Libra, while receiving ample criticism, still strikes a chord with many. It has the potential to become a currency spanning different continents, but turning it into a global form of money is not straightforward. There are still many questions waiting to be answered, both in terms of regulation and otherwise. So yeah, that's Jay Howe's perception on what can happen and what needs to happen. Sorry. Bitcoin price reclaimed 6K as traders eye new BTC futures gap. I actually was just talking about this. So essentially, this is just another trader theory of why Bitcoin is going up. And to be honest with you, it's all fundamentals based. There are whales. Don't get me wrong. There are whales that will take advantage of these theories that people have and flush people out the market and literally just take their money. But yeah, Bitcoin swiftly retook 6,000 after losing support on March 30th as analysts eyed a potential for the price to fill a new gap in the futures market. Price gains 3% after a brief dive. Data from 360 and Telegraph Market showed the BTC USD trading at around 6,300 at press time, a rise of 2.8% on the day. The past 24 hours had seen the pair dip to lows of 58.70 after weakness being signaled throughout the weekend. Those were short-lived though, as BTC continued to climb back up. Now hopes were high that the price action would remain more bullish, but as we know, when sentiment turns bullish, you usually need to be bearish. But like I said, you can't really gauge the cryptocurrency market by traditional means because it's still in its infancy. It still has a lot of growing to do, and you can't really predict this thing, man. It's literally like a wild bronco, like a bucking bronco. But the gap lies between around 6,300 and the closing price of CME future sessions at 66.80. As Cointelegraph reported, BTC has often returned to trade at levels left behind futures markets. Before its price volatility surged in mid-March, as one gap remained much higher at 11,800. For Cointelegraph market analysis Michael Van de Popp, however, there was overall still a bearish trend in BTC despite the upward potential. So yeah, this is essentially just them throwing out there like a theory on what's going on as far as price action. But to be honest with you guys, if you're in the market, you're here for the long term, so you shouldn't even really be worried about short-term price action unless you're planning on buying in on extremely cheap prices. I think this is actually a really big opportunity for a lot of people, because I think it was like a week or two ago, BTC had touched 3,700, 3,700 a couple weeks ago, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, I never thought I would see it at those prices again. And look at this. It's crazy because I think BTC, as of this video, just touched back 7,000. Can you imagine if you got in at 3,700 a couple weeks ago? You just doubled your money. I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's a lot of people think it's about the big wins, but it's the small wins that really make a difference. And imagine if you came in with 100,000 2 weeks ago, you just turned that into 200,000 in less than 2 weeks. That's crazy. Coinbase invests 1 million into DeFi projects, Uniswap and Pool together. So decentralized finance projects, taking. I actually think that just like in the last market downturn, a lot of big companies came out of it. A lot of these decentralized finance projects are going to go insane or really turn up when everything starts to turn around market wise and we start to look for alternative solutions to prevent any types of happenings that, how can I put this? The Yo, English is beating me up right now. But essentially, alternative solutions to traditional financial applications or companies or industries, like any solutions they may have had previously, they're trying to look for new methods of going through the financial system. Just a second. Yeah, I don't know. Today, English was beating me up yesterday, but right now, man, this got me the chokehold. Coinbase continues to ramp up its support for decentralized finance applications, announcing a fresh 1.1 million investment via its USDC bootstrap fund for two projects in the field. The USDC Bootstrap Fund, launched by Coinbase and Circle as part of the Center Consortium in early fall 2019, aims to encourage decentralized finance development by investing funds denominated in stablecoin directly into DeFi protocols. As Coinbase revealed on April 1st, the funding is $1 million for decentralized exchange Uniswap's USDC Ether pool. It is also contributing 100K in USD to the daily prize offered by Pool Together, a lossless lottery. All right, well, if you guys aren't familiar with Uniswap, Uniswap is a decentralized exchange, kind of similar to Bancor. If any of you have ever used Bancor before, and it runs without order books. So basically, in the way it runs, it's kind of like market sells and market buys. It's not really like that, but it's similar to it. If you guys have ever used these decentralized exchanges, such as Bancor, that don't have order books, as reported, the exchange has recently announced plans to release a V2 update in Q2 2020, which will allow direct token-to-token swaps. Coinbase notes that the project is emerging as one of the most liquid exchanges built on Ethereum, providing exchanges, also known as pools, for over 880 tokens. To help support the critical infrastructure and liquidity this provides for DeFi projects, the fund is injecting 1 million USDC to bolster Uniswap's pool. So yeah, that's crazy. If you guys are, I don't think Uniswap even has a token, but just the idea that DeFi is really, starting to grow, and it's been growing, but just the fact that it's starting to grow and in a sense take over and have all these massive amounts of money being pulled together to make it a success, it really makes you think what the next 5 to 10 years may look like. In late March, Coinbase revealed that the Coinbase wallet would enable users to earn interest on deposited cryptocurrencies by integrating two DeFi apps, Compound and DYDX. Both apps offer automated lending interest rates, with DYDX offering a margin trading service on top of that. That's crazy that they're bringing that up, because there was actually somebody who, I wouldn't say hacked DYDX a couple weeks ago, but somebody actually took advantage of a loophole, if you would say, inside of the DYDX system, and they made a shit ton of money, man. It was ridiculous. They've since fixed the how can I put this? I guess the loophole that's the person was taking advantage of, so that it can't happen again. And I think they were trying to revert that transaction, but it's ridiculous, because even if the dude did find the loophole, it's not like he hacked into the system or anything like that. He literally saw an opportunity to do something, and he did it. It wasn't like the system wasn't letting him do it, or he went behind people's backs to do it. It was an opportunity that was presented by the platform. The platform gave him what he needed. He used those tools that he was given and made money off of it. So them rolling back those transactions is kind of crazy, because it kind of goes against the whole idea of decentralized finance. But hey, man, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's the crazy thing. Decentralized finance is really taking off in the traditional sense as well. And even the bigger cryptocurrency companies are the bigger cryptocurrency companies are starting to aid the smaller ones and help. It's like, I like to see that, you know, the bigger ones helping the smaller ones grow to their full potential and get where they need to be, because we all know the potential that this industry has. So the fact that we're seeing that is really cool. Crypto fundraising to aid Canary Wharf and Isle of Dogs. So yeah, bank account based blockchain, Babb. That's actually a project I've been looking at myself. Babb. Um, the Everyone is basically their bank, a bank. You know, be your own bank, and they have a really how can I put this, lofty goal, and it's pretty cool. If you guys haven't checked it out before, Babb is a really cool project. They have a token as well. It's actually Bax, the Bax token. They're going to talk about it. Babb and CryptoAM.io have launched a fundraising initiative on March 31st to help vulnerable and elderly people living in Canary Wharf, Poplar, and the Isle of Dogs in London, United Kingdom. According to the announcement, Babb's native cryptocurrency utility token, Bax, is the parent of the project, where transactions will be made quickly, regardless of whether they are low amounts, in addition to being an expedited and free way for the donor. Many vulnerable people reside in the Isle of Dogs. CryptoAM's insider James Bowder realized that many older adults are outside the country's health and care system, which is why they are going hungry. He added the following comments: one of the most important potential byproducts of the corona crisis will be the rebuilding of community spirit, which has long been fading. By sharing these stories, I hope that others can rediscover the community spirit. Babb is working closely with vouchers to ensure that the raised funds reach those who need it most directly, after converting into fiat currency so they can benefit even more. Blockchain as a solution for fundraising projects. Speaking with Cointelegraph, David Taylor, Babb's chief marketing officer, stated the following about the company's support for this type of fundraising project. Canary Wharf is a global epicenter of financial services. We recently found out that many vulnerable people in the local community have fallen through the care system and need their local community to rally around like communities used to. As a platform, Babb is able to provide global support to even the most local and humble community projects. Barter said that the primary motivation for choosing a blockchain-based platform like Babb was that this technology could efficiently process the funds collected. The Babb team clarifies that donations can be made directly from credit or debit cards without incurring fees. Additionally, users can donate to other charitable causes as well. That's actually really something that I was really interested in as well when I was looking at Babb as a project to possibly put some money into. Um, it's really cool. Like I said, you guys should really check that project out. I'm not telling you guys to go buy into their token or anything, but it's a really cool project, and I feel like it's worth your time. They actually just released their beta for their app, and the beta is really smooth. I like the interface and the UI. It's pretty dope what they're trying to achieve. As of press time, the initiative has raised more than £2,700, representing a percentage of 41.1% funded, who expect to collect close to 72.5 million backs, valued at £5,500. So yeah, that's been today's news, guys. I'll come back to you tomorrow with some more unexpected news, because you know we never know what tomorrow holds. And as you guys see right there to the right, BTC is trading at around just above $7,000. Looking at the market today. Oh snap! I need to refresh. I think this is still from yesterday. That's actually pretty funny though. I think that toilet paper token thing at the top of CoinMarketCap, I think that's Binance trolling everybody. Oh, it's gone now. Oh, I guess they took it off. Binance probably finished the transaction. But yeah, BTC is trading at just above 7,000. Ethereum market's generally pretty green today. It's pretty nice, you know, after all those weeks of red. Well, not weeks, but that actually happened pretty fast if you think about it. I say weeks, but that happened really fast. That death plunge all the way down to 3,700. Alright guys, this is your boy CG. I'll come back at you tomorrow with some extra news. Peace.